Hey, Internet, Eric here. Well, I finally finished the Alien franchise with Ripley, the Ripley verse, as I've been calling it, and I figured, fuck it, why not go into the next franchise I'm going to go into? Why not go to another well-loved creature from outer space? Today, I am going to officially jump into the Predator franchise, and I am discussing spoilers. One of my top 3 movies of all time, the original Predator from 1986. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I discuss plot, spoilers, specific scenes, all that crap. I've said it a million times. Fucking Predator. Okay, the basic plot of this is Arnold Schwarzenegger is Dutch. He is the leader of a commando group sent to South America, I believe, on a rescue mission. I believe it's Valverde, which is the same country that Dan Hedaya is trying to overthrow, or something like that in Commando. They're there, rescue mission fails, and after they kill all the bad guys, they find out they're being stalked by an extraterrestrial that is just as badass as this group of dudes. Fucking love this movie. First off, this is, cliche or not, this is lightning in a bottle. It has a fantastic cast, fantastic score, fantastic action, fantastic special effects, fantastic everything. Let's get with the cast. First off, Arnold fucking Schwarzenegger. This is my favorite role. He is Dutch. He is so subtle. And what I mean is, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger at his biggest, muscular wise, all that stuff. And this is kind of like Commando, but he's kind of like John Matrix in Commando, but he has less one-liners. Same with what the fuck was his name in Running Man? It doesn't matter. Because he commands a presence. He commands a presence. He takes no shit. He's intimidating as hell, and he's very subtle. First time we see him, chopper's landing, everybody's getting out, and he, of course, has to be the last one to leave, smoking a fucking stogie. Ben Richards, Running Man. Anyways, he's great, and what I mean is he's so subtle. Like, he means business. He knows his shit, and he's good in body language, just the way he looks and stuff like that. I love how, also, he's not so over the top with the one-liners. Stick around's kind of lame when he throws a knife into a guy and impales him to a pole. But memorable lines. The girl that's with him tells him that, it's been the Predator has been injured. It's been wounded. They found the blood, and then he just looks at her and says, "If it bleeds, we can kill it." Like, okay, let's go. So he's fantastic. Carl Weathers is his old buddy, I guess you would say, from previous missions. He's now working for the government, pushing too many pencils, and he knows the real reason why they were sent there for this rescue mission. And he's an outsider. He was friends with Dutch, but the first time we see him, he's wearing a button-up shirt and a tie. What's with this fucking tie business? No one trusts him. Like, even Arnold is kind of iffy on him, but none of the other men trust him, and for good reason. And comes back to haunt him. He is never trusted until he actually has to help set up the booby traps. Arnold himself says, instead of complaining, why don't you fucking help? And he does. And I kind of like how it's a macho competition with Carl Weathers, Dylan, and Dutch, Arnold. Because the first time we see, everyone knows that fucking Dylan's you son of a bitch handshake. And they're doing like that arm wrestle in air. And of course, both of their fucking biceps, we have the camera shot. John McTiernan does that camera shot right there. And of course, when they're setting up the booby traps, who's the only one without the fucking shirt on? Carl Weathers. So that was great. He does a really good job playing the company man, the outsider, and then eventually tries to do a redeeming, I guess you would say, action, and it falls short. Who else do we got? Okay, let's start. Jesse the Body Ventura as Blaine, tobacco spitting, give no fucks man with a minigun. Great. Again, all the one-liners. He says, "I ain't got time to bleed" after he gets shot. His best friend is Mac, played by the scariest motherfucker Bill Duke ever put on screen. And what I like about Bill Duke, he's good. He's like Arnold, very subtle, but Bill Duke isn't just intimidating, he's scary. And again, it's the way his presence, his intimidation. There's a scene where they're going along the ridge or something in the leaves, and Dylan almost gives her position up. He trips on a log and it makes sounds and birds and stuff. And after he gets his composure, he looks and boom, Max right there, and he threatens Dylan. He says, "You give up our position one more time, I'll bleed you and leave you here." And then he just walks away. And then again, he doesn't. You don't. No one trusts Dylan. He saves Dylan like from a scorpion, the whole anytime bit. And again, he's just standing there whispering, and that's what's great about Mac, or Bill Duke. He whispers when he threatens Dylan. He whispers when he helps him from the scorpion. He whispers. And what I like is his camaraderie with Jesse Ventura. You believe that they've been in the shit together. They're like, remember this, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it makes Cambodia look like Christmas and this and that. So you believe that camaraderie. They're sharing the whiskey or whatever. And then Mac has one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And it kind of seems out of place, people might think, with, shit blowing up and, people getting stabbed and stuff. It's after Blaine is killed. And I love the scene where Mac's guarding his body and he's talking to the heavens. And Bill Duke, he is one of the blackest black men ever. And he looks so cool in the moonlight. He's talking to the heavens, he's talking to Blaine, and he's saying, remember when we were in this and, everyone died, it was just you and me, we walked out, not a fucking scratch on us. And he says, I'm going to find this guy who did it, I'm going to cut your name into him. But he's whispering, I'm going to cut your name into him. And he whispers it. You believe that shit. Speaking of intimidation, we got Sonny Landom as Billy, the tracker, the Native American tracker. Again, quiet, more body language, more facial features. And that we know of, he goes out like a champ because his most memorable moment, other than laughing at all of Shane Black's pussy jokes, is he takes his shirt off. He's about ready to fucking go after the predator. He's got his machete, cuts himself down the chest, and then you hear him scream. Sonny Landom's great. Shane Black's there to be funny. He's okay. Richard Chavez as Pancho, he's fine. He's there, Everyone is great. And this is like the perfect testosterone movie. Because once they find out the hostages are killed, instead of Arnold just shooting up the place, he plants a bomb in a truck and lifts it up, kind of like Commando, and throws it down the fucking hill, and then everything blows up, and everyone gets shot to shit. People are stabbed, people are blown up, people are shot, everything happens. And it's so much overkill. Because two guys are trying to get away in a helicopter, and they're getting shot up by someone already, and then I think it's Arnold. He takes a grenade launcher, just blows them the fuck up. And the action it's just so good. The Predator. I don't know if I have. You have him looking like that, so already he looks cool with his mask. And what I love about the Predator is Kevin Peter Hall, again with the body language. You don't get to see him, so he is walking. I don't know if he studied dance or if he like dance videos or what, or if he was a dancer, but again, he is very intimidating yet graceful, and the fucker's tall. They needed someone who could could kick the shit out of Schwarzenegger. And I guess they had Jean-Claude Van Damme before as in the fucking original look of the Predator, and it looked fucking stupid. But I hear that that's really Van Damme when he's like leaping through the trees and he's invisible. Predator's got one of the coolest fucking looks ever. I don't think there's no picture of them without the mask here. But again, he's got this crab-like face that, the story of Stan Winston and James Cameron coming up with the idea. He looks amazing. He's got the dreadlocks. He built like a human. The fingers, the boots, and the shoes and everything. And his weaponry is so great. He's got a fucking, does it show it here? He's got a shoulder cannon. And right here in the head, that's where the sight goes. And where that thing goes, kind of like in, was it Friday the 13th Part 6, where the red dot goes, you bang. And it's a literal cannon. It's blowing heads up. It's blowing chests out. This is a gory fucking movie. And that's what I like about the Predator. He is a hunter. And he skins his victims. He takes trophies. He takes the spinal cord. He takes the skulls. That's what happens to Billy in a gruesome scene. This movie is full of gore. Like I just said, that Jesse Ventura's chest is literally blown out. Mac, his head, boom. Dylan loses a fucking arm. So it's so bloody, so good. Such an awesome movie. Character I just forgot about is Anna. Anna. Either way, she's working for, I guess you would say, the bad guys that they're going for in South America. She is captured because she pulled a gun on Dutch. No, either Dutch or Dylan. I don't remember who she pulled the gun on. She's knocked out, and she's taken with. And I think it was Dylan. Because Dutch was like, she'll just slow us down. But she's great because she is not a weak female character in this. She's in this room full of fucking macho men, like literal macho men. And she holds her own because she's really good at when she tells the story of, she's heard that, there are people in my village talked about, this happening when it grows very hot. And it was the creature that made trophies of men. You believe her when she tells the story. Again, subtlety. I like it when she sees the blood on the leaves. And, she puts it on her pants, so she's smart, so she can study it later. I like how when it's pretty much just her and Arnold left, the Predator shoots and kills Pancho. She pulls up the gun, and she tells Arnold to run. She is willing to save him. And he kicks the gun out of her hand. He gets shot. People wonder why his arm didn't get blown off. He shoots the gun. The gun explodes. Anyways, she's great. I love her. Again, the action is top notch. Everyone's getting blown up. Once Blaine is killed, Max sees the Predator. He sees its eyes glow. Neon green. Because it can turn invisible, kind of bends the light, as you find out in part 2. And he just starts shooting wildly into the... this is like the most overkill in the whole movie, into the jungle. And without hesitation, his boys come up behind him and they just start shooting the shit out of anything. We have so many things blowing up, trees getting mowed down. And then what's intimidating is Pancho goes to find out, because I think he's kind of like like Billy. He's also a tracker. He comes back, he's like, we hit nothing. And that's how Richard Chavez is so good. Jesus Christ, the score is so iconic. I'm not even going to intimidate it. John McTiernan knows how to do fucking action. He's also done Die Hard 1 and 3. What else can I talk about? Jeez. One of my favorite scenes. I talked about how manly and macho this is. One of the best things about this, and one of the scenes I love so much, is when they're getting ready to go to the jungle. Like I said, you have all this testosterone all in this small place, and the fuckers are listening to Little Richard on the way there. The opposite of the manly man. Just so much fun. I absolutely love this movie. If you can't tell, like I said, it is in my top 3 movies of all time. We have, like I said, a fantastic cast. Not just Arnold, but Carl Weathers, Bill Duke, Jesse Ventura. Everybody is great. Poor Anna. I almost forgot to talk about her. Predator is probably my favorite looking creature. The Xenomorph is great. Brundlefly is great. I love fucking Pumpkinhead, but the Predator is amazing. Kevin Peter Hall is fantastic. You can see him at the end. He's the helicopter pilot. That's what he looks like when he's not in the makeup, in the suit. Or he's also Harry from Harry and the Hendersons. He's also Big Top Pee-wee, if you've ever seen that. He's Big John the Strong Man. He's in Highway to Hell as the guy with his eyes stitched up. Anyway, this is what happens when I love a movie so much. I fucking ramble. This movie's fantastic. Over-the-top action that's amazing. That last 20 minutes when Arnold is being hunted by himself, by the Predator, fantastic. Finds out he's got to be covered in mud because the Predator sees with body heat. It's cool that we always see infrared. When you see Arnold, like fucking Rambo, covered in mud, making booby traps, and then when he lifts up that torch and screams that primal scream, holy shit, I've said enough. Gotta catch my breath. So, in case you haven't been able to tell, I absolutely love Predator. Love every single thing about it. If you haven't seen it for some ungodly reason, get on Predator. Schwarzenegger's best movie, in my opinion, and that's from a man who loves Terminator and Terminator 2. Predator, I think, is his best one. I'm not going to just keep me repeating myself. Get on Predator. We'll be talking Predator 2 sometime soon. Predators, The Predator, Bloody Sunday, usual crap. Comment below, like, subscribe, click the bell, all that crap. Cheers.